Hi, my name is Peter Hartman, and you're watching The Appreciationist, the pre-show. The pre-show starts at 6:45 p.m. every Wednesday. It goes until around 7 p.m. Right at the start of the show. The pre-show is for us to get our webcams working, our microphones working, to figure out the topic of today, to get acquainted a little bit, familiarize, comfortable, working out the kinks and the bugs, and then the show starts at 7 p.m. So if you're here to watch the show starts in about 10 minutes or so, 10 to 15 minutes, and we'll go at the top of the hour. Today we're talking about over-analyzing. If you want to come on with your webcam and microphone, or just your microphone, just follow the description, the instructions that are in the description on the Meetup page at meetup.com/TLOA-MTL. That's meetup.com/TLOA, as in the law of attraction, MTL as in Montreal, or you can just find us on our YouTube page, so just YouTube for the Law of Attraction Montreal, or you can check it out on the Google Plus page if you're watching that on the live on the air. So on the side of the screen, you're going to see a little red button that says Add to Circles. If you click that, then I know that you want to participate with the show. Once the show starts, I add you to my circles and I send out an invitation. The only way for you to participate with the show live on the air is to receive an invite from me specifically. There's no button for you to press to come on the show. The only way to do it is if you get an invitation from me. And you get an invitation. Everyone who adds the Law of Attraction Montreal to their circles gets an invitation at the start of the show. Sometimes there are little bugs. We have to work them out. Sometimes Google doesn't work all that well and you don't get the invitation. I'll send it again. If you're having any trouble trying to contact us or trying to participate with the show live on the air, just post a message anywhere that you can find us. Meetup, Facebook, on Google Plus, on YouTube page, anywhere that you can find us, just write a message, and hopefully I will or someone else will be able to help you out with that. But that's what the pre-show is for. So right now I'm going to invite the people to the show, just in case there was any issues. Hang in there. We're going to be starting the show in just 1 second. If you're watching this later, you can just fast forward ahead. It'll be about 5-7 minutes or so before the start of the show. Over-analyzing. Talking about that today. It's a continuation of part 2 over our overthinking episode last week. We're going to have a fun time talking about that here today. If you have any questions, you can post that in your comments below. If you have any suggestions for upcoming shows, please feel free to send that to us at contact@theappreciationist.com, or you can send that at peter@theappreciationist.com, or you can just post a message anywhere that you can find us, and we'll gladly take topic ideas, joke ideas, any ideas that you have, moments of appreciation, questions that you want answered. Feel free to post that down below. We're watching a personal empowerment talk show. It's I think the only one of its kind. I'm not sure, but I'm gonna say that. It feels good to say that. The only one of its kind, and you're in for a treat here today, starting in about 5 minutes or so. You see me looking down and looking away. I'm just getting ready for the show. That's what the pre-show is for. I'm not ignoring you, but hang in there because show's starting very soon. That's a long intro. All that to say, hi. How are you? Come on the show. Come on the air. Let me send out this invite. The camera's looking a little dark. I wonder what I can do to brighten that up. Maybe it's the lighting here. So I am inviting the people who have added the Law of Attraction Montreal to their circles. I just received an invitation right now. And let me just check here. Try to pick a good joke. I have a joke I picked out already, but it's a little, a little something. Let's see. I'm always looking for good jokes. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Oh, yeah. We have somebody in here. I wonder who that is. So someone trying to come in there. I know my connection's a little sluggish here today. Hopefully it won't be too much of an issue. Okay, let's see. If you're having trouble participating with the show, coming on with your webcam or microphone, if you're not getting the invitation, please just post the message, and I should be getting that here. Keeping an eye on the messages that we're getting. Nothing yet. Hi there. You can hear me.
Hi.
Hi, Laura. How you doing? Good to see you.
But I have you twice. Wait, I have to. Oh, okay. Now I have one of you.
Okay, cool. Maybe I'll stick there. I know my connection's a little buggy today, but we'll see how that goes.
Where is everybody?
So they're going to come on. I'm sure they're a little late right now. They're going to be here in just a few minutes. We'll wait for them until. We'll wait to start the show until they get here. There's Val.
Huh? Hi.
Hi guys. Hi Elvira.
Hi.
Your first time.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Indeed, welcome.
It's my first recorded time on video.
It's nerve-wracking, huh? Being recorded on video.
Yeah, if it's not recorded, I don't care. But if it is recorded, like,
I completely.
and I'll have to watch later. And
Well, you don't have to watch it later. I know I don't. Watching myself on camera is a little tough. If you happen to say something or experience something that you don't want recorded, just let me know and I'll remove it or I'll blank it out or something.
okay.
So don't.
Hi.
Hi.
Hey, baby.
Hi everyone. Oh, finally get my stuff to work.
Good, good.
Hi Valerie.
Hey, Vedi, how are you?
Good, you?
Fine, thank you.
I'm just looking for a joke here. The one I have, I'm not entirely sure if it's good, but let's see.
This is weird. That's why. Would that work better?
Valerie, long time no see.
Yeah. Maybe what, 45 minutes ago?
45 minutes ago, I feel like.
Yeah, I was wondering if you were going to make it on time, but I guess you were closer than I was.
Oh, I was just a few blocks away.
You just had to walk there, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so you took the metro.
We actually went to a. Have you guys ever heard of the organization called YES, Youth Employment Services? I think it stands for.
Yeah, I went there for French courses. I went there for this training for looking for jobs a year ago.
Yeah, it's pretty
good.
good.
I like it.
We were just there, Val, Samantha, and I. So that's what we were just hanging out. Okay, let's see what joke. What word? Since you guys are here waiting, what word should we use to compete against luck? We need a word.
Comfort.
Comfort?
Yeah.
Awesome. What do you guys think about that? Comfort.
I vote yes.
Comfort.
Okay, so I'm going to try to do a banner. This is the first time I can actually do that properly. How do I do this now? Right.
So if you click Hangouts Toolbox, and then it'll open up a right side panel, make sure that the top, the switch for off is turned on.
Yeah, hold on, because I mean I've got the Hangout toolbox. Then I have like a sound, then a chat thing, and some around with Like it looks like, or settings maybe if I go to, yeah, but I went to settings.
Well, if you tap on, okay, so if you tap on Hangouts toolbox,
Yeah.
I was trying to open it before, but my computer kind of froze here. Let me just try it one more time. On the right side, do you see a field that says your name?
No, and I used to because I tried it on my tablet at some point and I can't see it now. Why not? My webcam is on. Come on, it should be linked to the webcam thing, right?
I'm sure it'll.
People. Okay, let me click on it again, and then open it.
Unfortunately, I'm not able to connect. It's not working for me, but.
Oh, okay, got it. I just clicked on something that looks like the picture of somebody. So I have lower third, and I have my name, and lower third should be on, right, instead of off?
That's correct.
Okay, and where do I put the name for my website? Under my name?
That's right. The second field.
The tagline, right?
That's right. The video is looking pretty dark. It needs to be brighter.
Didn't you have like a huge spotlight or something?
Yeah, I do. The thing, yeah, I do. It's just that the thing with webcams is that they auto adjust brightness, and so if it feels like it's too bright, then it might bring it down darker. I know it's nonsensical, but that's just the way webcams work.
Okay. Okay, choose logo. Don't want to choose logo. What is custom overlay?
Custom overlay. So what you're seeing on the screen there, that's called an overlay, but you can make a custom one. So one that's not a blue line, white with a blue line, like you can make your own.
Okay. Yeah, I don't need that. And then do I have to save preset or something?
You don't have to save it, but if you save it, you won't have to make it again the second time.
Okay, and save, and then, oh, so you see it. I hadn't seen it, or I see it like backwards.
Oh, I see. Yeah, it's not backwards to us, though.
Yeah, but you only see my name. You don't see.
Only because did you enter it in the right field? In the second one, you entered your website.
Yeah.
And did you hit save?
Yeah. And hold on, let me put it off and back on, maybe. Aha. That's why.
If you're ever having any computer problems at home, first step is to turn it off and to turn it back on. That's always a wonderful.
Yeah, that's kind of.
So I think everybody who's going to show up is here already. We have to start the show. I know Beatty just stepped away for a second, so once she gets back here, just let me look quickly. Oh, there we go.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
I'm just trying to get the same pink as the flower. That's just me. Typical girl.
Oh, Cynthia.
Hey!
Hey!
How are you?
Good.
Well,
Good. Looking good, girl.
Happy to see you all.
Yes, same here. I know I am.
Nice scarf. I like your scarf, Cynthia.
Thank you, my dear. Whenever you want, just tell me and I bring it over.
She's got all kinds of nice scarves. You always do.
Thank you.
Are you working?
Yes, I am.
Looks that way.
Wow.
You want to see what I'm doing here? Having fun?
I don't know. Interesting. I know it's interesting to you, that's for sure.
It is. It is. I can really not complain, but today is accounting, so it's not that fun.
I agree.
Oh, I do that every day.
Who's that? You do that every day?
Yeah, I'm an accountant.
Oh, wow. How you like it?
It's good for me because time passes by really quickly.
We have to talk then.
That's right. That's right.
I'm looking for an accountant. So if you're taking new clients, let me know.
Okay, I can help out.
That's
It
great.
depends on what you want to do.
I'm gonna send you my info, my telephone number.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to do it though.
Cynthia, I have your telephone number.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. So whenever you have a chance, just give me a call,
Mm-hmm.
and then we arrange an appointment, maybe Betty. Cool.
Yeah.
I'm leaving tomorrow for 4 days, but I'm gonna
Wow.
be back on Monday. So up to you. Whenever you have a chance, just give me a call and we arrange a meeting.
Okay. Where are you going?
Mexico.
Oh,
Oh, it's now? Why did I think it was later?
It's now.
Okay.
Last minute change.
Okay. Okay. I understand.
Okay.
Are we ready to start the show?
Yes.
Okay, I kind of feel like I need Dimitri here. I'm overwhelmed by all the estrogen.
Yeah, Dimitri, come on. Where are you?
Oh, that's a nice webcam, Valerie. Awesome.
Sorry?
It's a nice webcam.
Yeah?
Mhm.
Yeah, you
Good.
finally had
It's
just
a
a
new one,
second.
right?
Yeah, it's a new one.
It's a new one, yes, yes. And it was on special. So really, I was happy.
Good, good. So we're going to start the show. We're going to try and go quickly because I'm really trying to get this down to 30 minutes. Today we're talking about overanalyzing. You guys interested in that topic?
Yeah.
I am.
Awesome. Very cool. So we'll talk about that. So I have my co-hosts here, Valerie and Beatty. They don't have to introduce themselves. I'll introduce them. But Cynthia and Elvira, if you want to introduce yourselves at the top of the show. So I'm just going to say hello, and you guys can introduce yourself. You can say your name, and you can say anything you want. Hi, how are you doing? You can say your business, anything that you want. So that's your time to really say whatever it is you want. So we're going to start off with the introductions. We'll go with Cynthia first, and then Elvira.
Cool. Limit my time though.
Say again?
You must limit my time. Because I
Okay.
can't speak for an hour.
No worries, no worries. And then we're going to go into a moment of appreciation. The order of the moment of appreciation will be, well, does anybody want to go first? I'll go first.
What you appreciate?
Yeah, I'll go for a moment of appreciation. So that's where we just share a moment of appreciation, something that happened the past week that you can appreciate. It could be something good that happened, or it could be something that didn't work out well, but that you value now. So it's just a moment. It can be big, it could be small, it could be complicated, it could be simple. There's no stress. It's just about exercising our appreciation muscle.
I can go first if you want.
Okay, so Cynthia, you'll go first. Who's second?
I'll go.
Valerie second.
Okay, I'll go third.
Third, and Elvira fourth, and I'll go last. Okay, perfect. So Cynthia, Valerie, Beatty, Elvira. There we go. You guys ready?
Ready.
Let me put this in. Oh my God, I'm sorry.
Please.
Okay, so I present myself first, right?
Well, I'll start the show, and then I'll ask you to introduce yourself.
Oh, okay.
Just sit tight, and we're going to start. Here we go. Hi, my name is Peter Hartman, and you're watching The Appreciationist. Thank you very much for joining us. Tonight's show, we're talking about overanalyzing. Overanalyzing. It's a part 2 of our overthinking conversation that we started last week. If you haven't seen that, go to our YouTube channel and check that out. Before we get to the topic of the show, just want to say hello to my co-host, Valerie, Beatty. How are you guys doing?
Good. Hi.
Good, good. Good to see you. Great. Thank you for being here. And we have our 2 guests in the room. Would you like to introduce yourselves?
Yes. My name is Cynthia Chavez. I work in immigration in my own company. It's been a long time. I met Peter, well, not really long time. Less than a year I met Peter and the rest of the girls here. And I love doing this because it's helping me to my self-development and improve really my quality of living. So thank you.
Awesome. Thank you for being here, Cynthia. Who's next?
Me. My name is Elvira. It's my first time on this show. And I want to learn to appreciate things because I have a problem with that a little bit. I have a lot to appreciate, but I always find something that I don't appreciate and focus on that. So I want to change that. So I hope this show can help me.
Really awesome. Yeah, isn't that interesting? We all have things to appreciate, but sometimes it takes a little mental energy in order to find those things. Thank you very much for being here, Elvira, Cynthia. Thank you very much for joining us, and Beatty and Valerie. Thank you for being here. Good to see you guys again. Let's get on with the show. The most important thing we do in this show is the moment of appreciation. It's why it's called the Appreciationist. We look back at the past week, the past couple of days, and we recognize something that we find value in, that we can find joy in, that we can appreciate, or it could be something that didn't go well, and we can mine it for the value that it provides. So we're just going to take a moment to look back, to reflect the past couple of days, something that went well or something that didn't go well that you can appreciate, something that you value. Did you guys have any moments of appreciation this week?
Yes.
Yeah. Awesome. Who wants to go first? Cynthia, you sound like you'd like to go first.
Yes, I am. So my moment of appreciation, it was a situation that happened this weekend with a client. He got detained. So I never faced really to be in front of the judge in this criminal area of law. And well, that happened to be that I had to go. So Saturday, I went over and just to see the situation, and then Sunday, just the same. And Monday, finally, I faced the judge, and it was really scary. I can say, not scary, it's scareful. Like I was really panicking, but I said, "Listen, I'm gonna be out of my comfort zone," and I really appreciate the moment because it pushed me to go farther and to really expand my limits. So I really appreciate that. I mean, sorry for my client, but at the end we won, so he's free now. And I really appreciate the challenge. I really appreciate it.
Very cool. That's an awesome moment of appreciation. Thank you so much for sharing that. I remember something was happening, so I'm glad to hear there was a resolution to that. Very good. Good on you.
Thank you.
Awesome. We have Valerie, our co-host Valerie.
I'm like, okay, I had like 3 different moments of appreciation. I'll stick to one. Actually, it happened this morning. I had a yoga class, and I've known my teacher for a long, long time. And every 2 weeks, she shares a little bit of yoga philosophy. And today was about doing the right amount of effort. And so, of course, it was through yoga, but I guess it's good for your life in general. And I appreciated the way she was talking about it because it made me think of when we had a group discussion on comfort zones. And what she explained is that when she came to yoga because she was very, very sick, and she had like some kind of a crippling disease, and if she hadn't done anything, she would have been in a wheelchair within a year. And so she did yoga, and this is what changed her whole life. Now she's a teacher. She's got her own practice of yoga. She's got a great studio. And what she explained is that she was saying how when she had to do postures, she would just go to where it would hurt, not beyond that, just when it would start to hurt. And the teacher would tell her, so once you're there, just breathe through it, and the breathing will take you a bit further, you know, if you can, but otherwise just breathe. But she said, so that was how she got out of her comfort zone. So she would get to the edge, in a way, like of pain, and just breathe through it, and that would take her further. And she said if she had stayed in her comfort zone, she would have been crippled within a year. So I thought that was a very good image or example of, you know, how do you get out of your comfort zone, and why, and then how much, you know, like what is too much, what is not enough. So, you know, to find a way to do the right amount of effort, and not too much, not too little. You know, I called it a balanced effort, I guess. So I like that. I really appreciated that. She had talked about it before, but today was just clearer, and I made the connection with a comfort zone discussion.
Very cool. I really like that. It's really funny how often I'm hearing get outside of your comfort zone. Ever since Samantha did her Live in Your Comfort Zone talk, everybody's bringing it up. I really like it, this willingness to go further. And I really like what you're saying, finding this sort of balanced approach to it where you're sort of breathing, using your breath to breathe through the physical exercise, so it can either bring you further or so you can maintain it. Very inspirational story. I'm sure we're going to hear more about that, maybe in this conversation, maybe in the future. Thank you so much for sharing that with us, Val.
My pleasure.
Awesome. Who's next?
I'm next. This weekend, this time, I have to appreciate my previous weekend. I went to a piano concert with a friend. That was my first time going to a piano concert. It's a kind of a small environment, but it was nice. And it was very, very French. I wasn't born here. My French is not great. It's always been my problem to, like, when I do job searching or networking, whatever that I have to do, French is always my weakness. And somehow this weekend I got into this piano concert. The guy was playing and he was telling stories all in French. So that was so challenging. And then the next day, I went out with a few friends, like girls. We went for a movie, and afterwards we went for Turkish food. It's really new things to me. It's nice experience, good movies, and nice friends. But when they are together, they all grew up here, so they are speaking French again. So that was my very French weekend. And then Sunday, I was talking to another friend. He's a guy. I just met him not long ago, and he's saying, well, you should learn French, and French is so important. And he's really disliked the fact that I have to talk to cashiers in Montreal in English. And he thinks that's bad. But I'm like, I do what I want. I'm the customer. But anyhow, it's really a way to test how patient I could be with somebody else's opinion. So for that, I guess I appreciate it.
Awesome. Very cool. I really love that you use the phrase very French. We're living in a part of the world where that actually does apply. Something can be very French. That really sounds like fun. Your piano concert sounds like fun. Going out with friends. I get that whole thing with not understanding what's going on. But hey, you know, the learning experience and immersing yourself in that is really cool. Thank you so much for sharing that with us, baby.
You're welcome.
Awesome. Very cool. And last but not least.
Me. Okay, so I appreciated Saturday. I like going out, so it was nice. And I appreciated today. I had my moment of appreciation. When I arrived to work, before I actually entered the building, I felt like the weather was nice and, well, cold, but sunny. And I was like, I don't feel like working at least for 1 hour. I would like to get some rest and, you know, relax. And when I came to work, all the system was down. Like over an hour we didn't work. We just chatted with my colleagues, and it was really nice, and I really appreciated that, you know, I could relax a little bit. And I also appreciated the fact that I actually anticipated it before it happened. So before entering the building, I didn't know the system was down, but I kind of felt like it was down, and I was like, oh, I wish something happened. 1 hour would be enough. Yeah.
Oh, that's really cool, and a nice leisurely hour at work, and having the added bonus of having the premonition, the intuition that something might be going on. Very, very cool. I really like that. That's a really good moment of appreciation. It reminds me of those times where I would wake up in the morning late to go to work, and I was rushing, but something told me not to rush, don't bother. And then by the time I got to work, I realized everybody's late, or there's some major problem or some issue that I didn't have to actually rush for. I didn't have to actually worry. So really cool when those things happen. Very cool. Thank you very much for sharing that with us, Elvira. My moment of appreciation was, I mean, this past weekend I went to Funzo with a bunch of people. Elvira was there, Valerie was there in spirit and virtually.
for two minutes. Yeah.
For 2 minutes. Well, I really appreciated that. It felt really, really good to be out there. It's a bar downtown in Montreal. If you haven't heard about it, it's called Funzo. I think it's on Drummond and St. Catherine. It's this bar where there's free video games, there's arcades, there's board games. We played Cards Against Humanity, something like that. So it really was a lot of fun to just be out with like-minded people and just chilling. I know I see you guys a lot in terms of meetups, but it was good to just be outside and be stupid and talk about things that we shouldn't talk about. So that was a lot of fun. Hopefully we can do it again. Hey, Cynthia was there. What am I forgetting? Cynthia was there. She was so much fun as well. I'm just producer Sam is just letting me know just real quick, Elvira, just so you know, your mic is a little low. I could hear you, but just so you know, you either speak up or make them louder. But not a problem there. Thank you so much for sharing that. That's a lot of fun. You guys know what's next, right?
The joke of the week.
Oh, yay! Finally, okay. Okay, perfect. So we have to choose between 2 words. Last week we had love and luck, so we chose love. This week we have luck and comfort. Luck and comfort. Luck.
No, don't you try to like.
Luck.
I will go for comfort.
I choose comfort.
Oh, Elvira?
Luck.
Oh, that's a tie, right?
Uh-huh.
Valerie, you chose luck, right?
Yes, I did.
Uh-oh, okay. So the winning, okay, I'm not going to choose the winner. I'm just going to choose it at random. That's the winner.
Oh,
Yay!
Oh, that's lucky. Okay, so that's, just before we move on to the joke, what should the word for next week be? The first word.
Structure.
Structure.
Friendship.
I'm sorry, structure went out there. What was the other word?
Friendship.
Friendship. Okay, so friendship we'll put on for the week after that. Friendship. Perfect. Awesome. Today's luck. Let's read this joke. Okay, so it's a little wordy. I hope you guys are going to understand this. If not, we'll just like pretend that nothing ever happened. Usually we have Dimitri here with our laugh track, but we don't have that this week.
Where's the laugh track? Okay.
Yeah, I know. Okay, here we go. A little long, so I'll try to get through it. One day, an out-of-work mime was visiting the zoo, where he attempted to earn some money as a street performer. You guys all know what a mime is? Perfect. The mime, that's right, exactly. Those people.
Okay.
So one day, an out-of-work mime was visiting the zoo where he attempted to earn some money as a street performer. Unfortunately, as soon as he started to draw a crowd, a zookeeper grabbed him and dragged him into his office. The zookeeper explained to the mime that the zoo's most popular attraction, a gorilla named Sparky, had died suddenly, and the keeper was worried that attendance at the zoo would fall off without him. The zookeeper offered the mime a job to dress up as Sparky until they could get a new gorilla. The mime accepted. Very strange, huh? The mime is accepting to pretend to be a gorilla. Okay. The next morning, the mime put on a gorilla suit and entered the cage before the crowd arrived. He discovered that it was a great job. He could sleep all he wanted, play and make fun of people, and he was drawing bigger crowds than he ever did as a mime. However, eventually the crowds tired of him, and he was getting bored just swinging on tires. He began to notice that the people were paying more attention to the lion in the cage next to his. Not wanting to lose the attention of his audience, he climbed to the top of his cage, crawled across a partition, and dangled from the top over the lion's cage. Of course, this made the lion furious, but the crowd loved it. At the end of the day, the zookeeper was thrilled and even gave the mime a raise for being such a good attraction. This went on for some time. The mime kept taunting the lion, the crowds grew larger, and his salary kept going up. Then, one terrible day, when he was dangling over the furious lion, he lost his grip and fell. The mime was terrified. The lion gathered itself and prepared to pounce. The mime was so scared that he began to run around and round the cage with the lion close behind. When no help came and the crowd looked on in shock, the mime started screaming and yelling. Okay, here we go. Help! Help me! He screamed. And the lion was too quick and pounced. The mime found himself flat on his back, looking up at the angry lion, who was just inches away from his face when he whispered, "Shut up, you idiot! Do you want to get us both fired?" The lion was a mime too. The lion was an actor too.
I thought so.
Oh, Dimitri, where are you? Okay. It was a long joke, but I really liked it. I thought it was really fun.
Good one.
It's a good one. Okay, so let's move on to just before we talk about over analyzing, I want to let you know about two. Usually for our segment, what a great idea! I give you an app, a service, a website, something that you should go check out. That's worth your attention. Today we have two things. One is something that I've talked about before. It's called Khan Academy. It's a online learning platform where you can learn at home. Right now they have an app. So an app was just released, so you can go check that out on the App Store. Khan Academy, K-H-A-N Academy. We're going to find that on our Facebook page. The second thing is an app called Short Notice. Have you ever been out? You're not planning on it, but you realize you have an hour or two to kill, and you would love to meet up with a friend to go and do something? Well, this app is called Short Notice, and it's where you can just send out a message to someone nearby or to your friends to let them know, hey, I've got an hour or two to kill. Want to go for a cup of coffee? Want to go watch a movie? It's just a short notice thing. So I think it's a really nice app. I really love apps that connect people together, and that's a free app on the Apple App Store. Okay, so today we're talking about over-analyzing. We have somebody else who joined the room here. William, are you there? We'll let him figure that out.
Who's that?
Let's see.
Sorry, guys.
Oh, was that you? I thought that was William for a second. I was like,
No, I found the sounds, but I didn't know if I had to hit it to stop it.
I had no idea it was there. Well, William, you got a nice introduction with a nice drum roll. How you doing? I don't know if we can hear you.
Hello?
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Well, thank you for being here. I'm going to put you on the spot real quick here. You want to just introduce yourself for everybody?
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Sure. My name is William Hawk. I just moved here about a few months ago. Tried being on these calls a couple times. It's finally worked.
All right.
Well, thank you very much for joining us. I really appreciate that. We just went through the bulk of our show, so we can't go back over that. But hopefully you'll be interested in the topic here today, overanalyzing. Overanalyzing. Who here has any trouble with overanalyzing?
All the time.
All the time, right? Okay, so what is it? What is it that makes us overanalyze? What is it about life or about the issue that causes us to overanalyze? Maybe it's different for everyone. Maybe it's the same. Anybody have an idea? What makes you overanalyze?
Worry.
I'm sorry. So Cynthia first.
I think it's when you get worried about something, you overanalyze sometimes.
Worry. Yeah, I get that.
Expectation, for sure.
Perfect. What else? What else causes you to overanalyze?
Fear of failure or mistakes.
Fear of failure. Perfect. Mistakes. Awesome. What do you guys think?
I'm gonna steal it from you last week actually, but I thought that was a very good point. It's I think it's when we want to control the future, when we worry about it and we're trying to control it.
Very good. Very good. I like that. What about you, Elvira? What causes you to overanalyze?
Well, first, awareness, because you're actually aware of what's going on. That's why you have something to analyze. And second, when you demand too much from yourself or the situation, expect too much, you put too much attention on it, and you want to analyze everything, and you overanalyze it because it's so important for you, and you expect so much.
That's very interesting. Yeah, we demand a lot of ourselves. We expect too much of ourselves. We expect perfection. We expect not to fail. We expect everything to go well. I really like that. William, what causes you to overthink or overanalyze?
I think the biggest thing is I always think that things have to be difficult in order to actually achieve something. Often when something's like handed to you, it's often you think, is this too good to be true? And then you kind of just self-sabotage because everyone says it's got to be challenging, so then you kind of agree with them, and if something too easy comes along, then it's just like there's got to be catch. So
I completely get that. That's a wonderful answer, William. Thank you very much for that. So it's the beliefs that we hold, right? We expect that things should be harder sometimes. We have a false expectation over how we define success. So we expect too much of ourselves. I really like overanalyzing in context of awareness. I think it was Elvira who said this. Do you find that when you are overthinking that you are more aware?
Yes, that's what happens.
Yeah. So it's on one level.
On all the details and.
Yeah, so you're more aware, you're more focused, you're more aware of all the details. Does anybody here think that when you're over-analyzing, you're less aware?
I think so.
yeah, I think you kind of blind yourself from the different possibilities by over-analyzing it. It's kind of not a catch-22, but it's kind of along the lines of that, where you're trying to look at everything around you, but you kind of see it in a different kind of light, I guess.
I love what you said there. Catch-22 is exactly it, right? You try to take in everything, but because you can't take in everything, you're restricting where you can flow. So I really like that. Cynthia, what do you think about that?
Yeah, I think overanalyzing is really exactly what William says. 100% sure you're not really aware. It's just the opposite. Because how can I explain it? well, me, when I overanalyze something, I'm always taking a supposition of something. Is this going to happen? What if this? What the if is just present at every moment. So I'm not really aware, because if I were really aware, I just breathe and let the things go the way they have to be, and being sure that the thing's going to happen is just the best. I don't know. I don't know how to explain.
Well, you're explaining it very well, though, right? You sort of like get zoned in. I like to explain it this way. So we're talking about dimensions of awareness, right? Awareness, you can be hyper aware of the issue, of the problem, but you could be reducing your awareness of the solution, or of the broader perspective. So let me tell you this, and you guys let me know if you guys agree with it or not. So generally speaking, there are two perspectives. There's the broad perspective, the high view, and then there's the narrow perspective, the limited view. When you are focused on something that's causing you worry, fear, stress, or anything like that, you are narrowly focused on the issue. When you're narrowly focused on the issue, you are hyper aware of it. You're aware of perhaps all the details of this issue, but you're not aware of the bigger picture. The bigger picture is this. You are never in control over what happens outside of you. You're only in control of what happens inside of you. You're only in control of your inner experience. And when you lose sight of the only thing you have control over, your inner experience, your confidence level, the thoughts that you think, the feelings that you're feeling, when you fail to realize that the issue is only dealing with that, then you lose your power. So when we're talking about worry, we're talking about fear of making a mistake, fear of failure, those things are aberrations, right? Who here can describe to me what a failure is?
When you don't meet your own expectations.
So, say that again. When you fall short of your own expectations?
When you don't meet your own expectations. When you expect something and it doesn't happen.
Who here agrees with that? When you don't meet your own expectations?
Yeah, I agree.
I think it feels like failure. I don't know if it necessarily is failure. The failure part might have been over analyzing what you thought you could have done and setting your goals a bit too high as well. So it's kind of two sides to that coin.
Yeah. No, I completely see that way, right? So you fail, but if you fail in the way that we're describing, failing against your own expectations, it may be that your expectations were unwarranted. I kind of find that interesting. Beatty, what is failure to you? How would you describe failure?
It's interesting. I see it as not able to reach my goal in the first shot.
Oh, interesting. In the first shot, really? So if you can make it in your second shot, is that a failure?
But then I would call my first shot a failure.
Oh, interesting. I like that. Okay, very, very interesting. So that's another belief. Valerie, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, that was me. I went after Val.
Okay, yeah, Val, well, how would you define failure?
I would honestly, before Elvira gave her definition, I had a big blank about that, and the failure is big in my mind. It's very present, and so it's funny that I don't know how to define it. But I love what Elvira said about it. Makes a lot of sense, and yeah, because it's definitely has everything to do with our expectations. So it's our own definition of success. What is our definition of success, and what is our definition of failure? And if it's tied into our expectation, and it always is, well, I don't know if it always is, actually. It could be tied to somebody else's expectation that we buy into. There's that too. Yeah, so that's why it's our own. It's not the same for anybody.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. Cynthia, you had something to add?
Well, me, I always take not always. Lately, I've been taking failure as the great outcome, temporary outcome of being in action.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, temporary outcomes. That's really wonderful. So I really like that. So I want to just finish up the point I was making. There's the broader perspective and there's a narrow perspective. And whenever you're focused on something that is causing you resistance or negative feelings, negative expectations, whatever you want to call it, you are focused narrowly. And that gives you the illusion of being fully aware, but I would argue that you're only aware of this narrow view. But if you allow yourself to expand to a broader perspective, then you achieve real awareness, full awareness, the broader perspective that not only it actually puts the negative thing in context. So let me say this. Elvira, you said something very interesting. You said that that overthinking, overanalyzing is the product of demanding too much of yourself, having too great of an expectation or something along those lines. And then you say that failure is not meeting your expectations. And I like that too. So to me, I wonder if, whenever you're going to be doing something, what is the best expectation to have, generally speaking?
None.
No expectation?
Yeah, then you won't fail, right? And won't overanalyze.
Well, even if I don't have my own expectation, people that I'm in contact with, they would have expectation, and their expectation also affect me, affect how they talk to me, how they react to me.
Okay, very good.
I actually believe our fear of failure is based on these expectations, and those expectations always come from others, not from us.
Oh my
Well,
God.
at least when I was very scared to fail, I had just recently. I did not, by the way, but I know that that fear was mostly based on what others going to think about me and how I'm going to tell them. And, well, of course, my future and stuff like that, but I know that opinion of people around me also was very important.
So Cynthia, how much should we care about the expectations and the opinions of others?
Myself?
Yeah, like just generally speaking, like on the list of priorities, is that a high priority? How much should we care about other people's expectations? Because Beatty's right? Your boss has expectations, your family have expectations. Should we just ignore them, or should we only follow the expectations that we like? How much should that influence us?
Well, I cannot really say how much should we, because I don't think a person can really say how you live your life. But personally, I cannot say neither.
I'm sorry, I disagree. I do that all the time. I tell people how to live their life on a regular
And nobody listens.
That's what you're on here for, right?
Exactly.
I wanted to ask an advice, though.
I get it.
No, like personally, I think like for me, it really doesn't matter, but not 100%. For sure, like that depends whose opinion is, right? If it's like someone just passed by and tell me something where I really don't care, well, I'm sorry. I really don't care. But I mean, if it's a friend, if you tell me something, I'm sorry?
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
But like say, you tell me something, you're a friend for me. So for sure, your opinion will have value on my life. But that doesn't mean I'm going to be doing whatever you tell me just because you're important in my life. I take it in consideration for sure. But it's not like 100% sure. It's not my law, let's say it. So for me, if you tell me my scale, for sure it's not in the first 10, I will say, but it still is in my list. So I'm working on taking it out because I think it's not really helpful. You really have to be yourself, regardless if the people like you or not. Mm-hmm. So yeah, for me, expectation, other people's expectation is not interesting, neither their opinion.
I really like that. I really like that. So first of all, I like adopting the expectations or opinions of people or taking it into account if it's someone that I care about, someone who's close to me. If it's a stranger on the street, if it's a boss who doesn't care about you, then I place less of a priority on that. My question is, so we live in a world that's awash with expectation. We just can't help it. We're always going to have some level of expectation. Now, expectation only becomes a problem, other people's expectation only becomes a problem once it causes you to overanalyze. So let me ask you this, Beatty. So we can agree that other people have expectations, but if other people's expectations causes you distress, causes you to overanalyze, in that situation, should we care about it or not?
I still care. I know probably it's better not to. And in reality, my only thing that I could do for now that I can think of is stay away from those people.
I get that. Let me ask you, why is it better not to worry about their expectations?
I think it's that their expectation causes me to stress, right?
Yeah, but what's wrong with that? So the point I'm getting to is, like, we all recognize that it's far more logical to not care so much about other people's expectations. even if they're high, even if they're really going to affect our lives, because it only puts us in a state of mind that makes us less productive and less efficient. But still, knowing that, we still overthink. We still care about other people's expectations. So I want to get to the heart of it. William, do you think it's better for us to care about our own opinion, expectation over the expectations of others?
Oh, for sure.
It depends on what you feel. Sorry, I wasn't sure if you asked me or Cynthia.
No, William. Sorry, yeah, William.
I think it depends on where you want to be in the end. I mean, I understand, I respect completely the people who are closest to me, but they might not necessarily have the best opinions either, even though it's kind of a self-conflict for to not listen to them.
Mm.
Sometimes they give information that they think is right, but it might not be either. It's what's right and what's wrong really isn't a thing. It's just an opinion. So it's you kind of have to take opinions with grains of salt and develop your own opinions. I think it's more important.
Well, I like that. So let me say this. So, see, I believe that everyone in this room, and correct me if I'm wrong, everyone here believes that it is better to prioritize yourself and your expectations and your opinions over others. Am I wrong?
Oh.
Now,
Right.
so despite that, we still sometimes care more about other people's expectations, even though we know that, right?
Yeah.
So where's the disconnect? Why is it that what we know doesn't come into play when things hit the fan, when it actually matters, when you're over-analyzing, you're stressing, you're worried, your fear, and you know I should not care about this person or that person, but we still do. What is it that makes us still do that?
Fear.
Because we don't love ourselves enough.
Very, very cool. We don't love ourselves.
Me.
Go ahead. Was Cynthia, were you speaking, Cynthia?
Yeah. Well, me, I think our need to be accepted by the other people, that maybe push us to get the people expectation in first place. Especially if the person that is telling us that is the person that we love, no?
Absolutely.
I want him to be accepted and I want him to be happy with my life. But
Okay, good. So I really like this idea of self-love, right? It really is where, look, if you really love yourself, then ultimately you're going to see everything you're doing as valuable. Because even if you quote-unquote fail, even though the temporary outcome is not one that you desire, ultimately it does not denigrate or devalue your opinion of self. Okay? Because I love myself, I'm willing to try new things, I'm willing to fail, I'm willing to go this or that. I'm willing to not overanalyze things because I realize there's no right answer. The rightest answer is for me to be at peace with myself, to care more about what I think. Now, when other people's expectations come in the line, when other circumstances come in the line, I think what happens is that the distractions of life, we call those expectations, we call those circumstances, distractions of life, cause us to lose sight of our own value of self. Does that make any sense?
Yes.
We lose sight, we get distracted. And because we get distracted, we begin a process of thinking that is sort of like spinning your wheels. It's this downward spiral that we call overanalyzing. I say that because you can take almost any situation, and overanalyzing it tends not to be the best way to go about it. Right? If you're looking at a kid trying to ride a bike, and he's just sitting down looking at the bike, and you're like, "What's going on, buddy? What are you doing? Once you get on the bike," he's like, "I'm just thinking about it. I'm looking at the bike. How do I feel about the bike? Will I be good on the bike? How do other people feel about this bike?" Then you're like, "Wow, just get on the bike and figure it out," right? And so sometimes overanalyzing can really, well, often I find, maybe not, look, if I'm talking to a cancer researcher, I want them to overanalyze, right? If I'm talking to a politician, I want them to overanalyze. There are some things, an engineer, a surgeon, I want them to overanalyze, right? But at the same time, I want them to love and trust themselves, because if you knew you were going to be operated on by a doctor, you have a choice between two doctors, okay? They're both the same equal skill, equal reputation, but one loves themselves and the other one not so much. Who do you want to be operated on by?
The one who loves himself.
Yeah? Does everybody else agree with that?
Yeah.
the first one.
Yes.
Why? Why do we care? They both have the same skill.
He will be more successful in life, therefore happier. He'll be in better mood, so probably the surgery will go better way.
That's
And
very
more confident too. The level of confidence is different.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay, so you guys said something very powerful. It's a word that hasn't come up yet, confidence. So we talked about control, and often people, they derive their confidence level by their perception of how much control they have. And what I'd like to tell people is that you have no control. You've got no control whatsoever. The only control you have. What?
I said, darn.
Yeah, exactly. I wish I could control people, but the only control you have is the control of your own perspective, your own mindset. That is the only control you have. Everything else is only a byproduct of the beliefs you hold and the thoughts that you think and the way that you feel. And so, yes, we would all choose a doctor who's happier, because we all intuitively understand that the best behaviors stem from a place of love. So, back to overanalyzing. You're overanalyzing, you're overanalyzing, you're overanalyzing. Are you in that moment loving yourself?
Yes.
Okay, Cynthia, you say yes, you are loving yourself when you're overanalyzing. Why?
Oh no, when I overanalyzing?
Yeah.
Oh no, sorry, no, not at all.
Okay,
I don't think
yes, that's right. Right? Because you can't simultaneously think a positive thought and a negative thought, right? You can't think a positive thought and a negative thought at the same time. You guys know that?
Yes.
Right.
Isn't that interesting? I can hold a hot glass of water and a cold glass of water at the same time, but I can't hold a positive thought and a negative thought at the same time. So when you're overanalyzing, when you're overanalyzing, what are you not doing?
I'm actually trying to help myself out of a situation when I overanalyze, but I was trying to do things in my best interest, but I guess it doesn't work.
No, it of course works. Ultimately, it's always working. It may be a temporary outcome, right, Cynthia? I really love those terminologies. It might be a temporary failure, but it's always working to your benefit. But hear this. When you're overanalyzing, are you at your best?
No.
Never.
I don't know. I thought I could.
That's why I'm asking Beatty, because I do think she thinks that sometimes she is at her best when she's overanalyzing. Right? So let's hear this. Do you think that you're at your best when you're overanalyzing?
Not my best.
Not your best. Now, you are better than if you were completely ignoring the situation, right? It's better to give some attention to it. The more attention you give to something, the more you can incorporate it into you. But so here we're talking about, okay, so now we're really talking about the way to overanalyze. Elvira, have you ever had a moment where you were overanalyzing something, but it actually wasn't a problem?
Probably, but I still consider it a problem.
Oh, okay. So you still define it as a problem. I get that. Have you ever been? I was going to give a very poor example. Look, there are times where I'm making love and I'm hyper aware of what I'm doing, and there are times where I'm making love and I'm not so aware of what I'm doing, and they both yield different results. Oh, we just lost someone there. They both yield different results. Now, would you want to be with a lover who was over-analyzing what he was doing, or would you want to be with a lover who was in the flow?
In the flow.
In the flow.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it kind of be fun to be with somebody who was over-analyzing you while they're making love? Valerie, what do you think about that? Weird? Not weird?
I'm not sure, but I mean, I don't think my answer would have been that. I guess it depends. I mean, if you're over analyzing, but you're like focused and I don't know. I think there are two ways. Go ahead, Cynthia. Go ahead. Say what you have to say.
Come on. Oh my God, Val. Think what you said.
No, being in the flow for sure. It's not. I know it's nice, but I'm trying to think of a yeah. And when Beatty was talking, you know, when you're over analyzing, then you're doubting yourself. And then when Peter came up with that, image, I'm like, could somebody be over-analyzing and be doing a good job of being focused? I don't know.
What do you think, Elvira?
Paying attention and overanalyzing is a little bit different.
Very good. I really like that. I really like that.
I hear you. I'm sorry.
Paying attention and overanalyzing is different things.
Yes.
Oh, good point.
So paying attention is okay, good, but overanalyzing.
That's not me.
I really like that. I like the point that you're making, because I am really talking about the manner in which you give something your attention. Beatty, I recognize the true value that you see in overanalyzing, and it's not in the resistance, it's in the amount of attention you're giving to something. And what I'd like to point out is you give the best type of attention to something when you allow yourself to be in the flow. And we do that through practice. You don't do that instantaneously, you do that as something that you practice over time. You practice being in the flow when you're in traffic, you practice being in the flow when you're standing in line at the grocery store, so that when you are face to face with something that is challenging, you've practiced being in the flow. So it's not something that arises overnight, but it's not something that takes forever to do, it's something that takes practice. So overanalyzing is a type of hyper attention, but in some cases, overanalyzing in the way that giving a lot of your attention is a good thing. And what I'm trying to point out here is that I'm trying to demonstrate how logical it is to be in the flow, to allow yourself to be the best version of yourself, instead of making yourself, forcing yourself, overanalyzing yourself to the best version, because you can't get there. And what gets me is that I think everyone here knows that, but still every one of us deals with overanalyzing, and I'm still trying to get to what is the disconnect between what we know is right and how we act.
The habit, the patterns, how we've been raised maybe, or how society affects us. As babies, we look for approval. I mean, we don't look for it. It just, we learn it eventually. And if we behave in a certain way, then we get rewarded by love or attention. And so then we look for that outside of ourselves. So it's a pattern, it's a habit. So we're still doing it, even though we know rationally that it's probably not to our best interest, but we've been doing it for so long that it's hard to get rid of it.
Very
Can I
good.
say something else?
Yeah.
I think it's, to me, I think it's very important to, there are probably, I don't know, with the discussion, there are probably two ways that we can overanalyze. You know, maybe one is good, maybe the other one is not so good, or one is constructive, the other one is not. But I think for us to determine which is just how do you feel?
That's
you know, if you're, example, if you're working on something you love and you have tons of ideas and it's almost overwhelming, but it's fun and you're inspired and you're like thinking like crazy and you're in a whirlwind of, you know, ideas and brainstorming with yourself or something, and then if you're excited, that's what's the problem? You know, find a way to maybe control that a little bit, so but it's fun. But then when you're overanalyzing and what it means is really you're doubting yourself, then I probably don't feel too good about it.
That's the magic word there, and I know we're going to have to get going soon. My producer Sam is just letting me know, hey, it's going way too long. You got to end the show, so we're going to have to do that here very soon. But I love what you're saying there. So I just want to remind people, I know we struggle with things on a regular basis. I know there are challenges that we face, and you really want to take this magic word with you. You want the bridge from where you are, the bridge of transformation is the bridge of habit. So when you are in the middle of overanalyzing something, you want to remind yourself, in terms of a habit, hey, what I'm doing is not the most efficient way to do something. It's better than not paying attention to it, but it's not as good as allowing myself to be in the flow. So can you guys imagine a situation that might happen in the next week or so where you have the potential to overanalyze? It could be with something that you can eat, something that you're going to do, something at work. Do you think that you have, in the next coming week or so, something that may cause you to overanalyze, but that you could use as an opportunity to exercise being in the flow?
Yes.
So this is the challenge, right? The challenge is to give yourself reason to have an experience that shows you overanalyzing not the best way. the way you do that is when life gives you something to overanalyze that you can overanalyze, something that you typically overanalyze, right? You get a message from a guy, you don't know how well he's interested, you don't know if he's going to call you back, but you're saying, here's an opportunity for me to exercise not overanalyzing, so let me put it aside, right? Why didn't he call me back? Well, now this is an opportunity for me to exercise this. Why did my boss say this? Well, here's an opportunity for me to not overanalyze the situation, because I believe the best way to experience this habit of change is to have a moment, an experience with something where you behave differently than you did before, so that you can compare both outcomes. Right? Does that make any sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
So you want to give yourself a reason to look. You guys are all going to experience overthinking very soon, especially overanalyzing, especially since we talked about it. And when the next time it pops up, I want you to go, ah, here it is. Here's the homework. Here's the exercise. Here's where I get to practice a new behavior. Okay, I usually overanalyze the menu. Today, I'm just going to pick something at random. Right? What should I watch on TV? What should I watch on TV? What should I watch on TV? Today, I'm not going to overanalyze. I'm just going to pick something. Right? You're stuck in traffic, and you're like, should I go in this lane? Should I go in that lane? This guy's going too slow. Well, today, I'm just going to stay behind the slow guy. I'm not going to overanalyze it. You know, I've been stuck in traffic. I've been behind slow people. You know what I've told myself? I've told myself every time some slow poke is right in front of me with his car or her car, I'm just going to assume that I'm supposed to go slow. And I don't change lanes. Sometimes I see 2 lanes. They're right open. I could just be flying. But I have this rule that says just because he's slow doesn't mean I have to go faster. Let me just go slowly behind him. And so I'm using it as a moment to exercise my my not overthinking, my being in the flow. Can you guys, are you guys willing to practice that?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, so the next time you are face to face with overthinking, just so you know, tell yourself, I'm going to try something differently. I'm going to try to go in the flow. And next time we're on the Appreciationist, hopefully it'll come up and you guys can mention it. Maybe it'll be a moment of appreciation where you could have overanalyzed and you didn't. I know today we were out, Valerie and Samantha were out, and we sat down and we were analyzing what we were doing, and eventually we just decided to just sort of, you know, let the conversation drop and just move on to something else, because it's far better for us to be focused than it is for us to be gripped with fear. Let me tell you this, all negative emotions, anger, fear, depression, all those things are all symptomatic of doubt. You're doubting your own power. And the only reason you doubt your own power is because you're not filled with your own love. Love is how we value ourselves. And when you fill yourself up with love, you don't have room for all those negative things, those doubts that cause you to spiral out of control. So just find more reasons to love yourself, find more reasons to believe in yourself, and believe in yourself. And here's the key, William, this is for you. I'm just joking, I don't know, but this is for you. You want to believe in yourself even though you have no reason to do so. Because it's that expectation, that believing we have to know, that causes us stress. But you don't have to know, and you can't know. You'll only know once you experience it. So believe in yourself without having reason to do it, and then the universe will show you more reasons why you should believe in yourself. I know there's a lot more we can talk about. I really had a fun time with this conversation. How did you guys like it?
Great.
Yeah.
was fun. Interesting.
Too short.
Sorry, go ahead.
It's too short.
Too short. Yeah, I know what you mean. We're going to have a meetup coming up called Taking Action, and we'll probably talk about the subject in there. What do you guys think we should talk about next week?
Maybe we can continue this subject.
Hey,
I have a lot to say.
very cool. So we did overthinking, overanalyzing. What's similar to that?
And awareness.
Said unawareness?
Yes.
Unawareness. Unawareness.
Um,
I like that. How about, what do you guys think?
I want to know.
Sorry, go ahead, baby.
I want to know, like, the process to love myself more.
Very interesting. Okay, so we have unawareness. You know, I'm writing this down, but it's on video. I don't know what's up with me. Unawareness and love self more. Elvira, you have a topic maybe we can put up there?
High expectations.
Ah, high expectations. I really like that. William,
What was that, sorry?
high expectations. Very cool. William, do you have an idea, a topic for the show? Is he still there?
Oh. Looks like he is, but he's not really.
We'll pause
Is it
there.
a photo?
Oh, yeah.
Frozen, yeah.
It's gone.
Valerie, do you have an idea for a show?
Well, I liked when you talked about confidence and control and how they're linked.
Okay, yes, confidence, control. Excellent. So the next 4 shows, I don't know exactly what order, but it'll be awareness, self-love, so how to love yourself more, high expectations, and confidence and control. I really love that. William, are you here with us?
He's back.
It's too bad. I really want to get our schedule set here. I'm using you guys to do my work for me. I really appreciate that. Look, it's time for us to go. Just before we go, there's a segment we do. It's really quick. It's called "What's for Dinner," and that's where we.
Indian food for dinner. I have to go. So bye, guys. Thanks for your time.
If anybody else has to go, please feel free. Okay, real quick. What's for dinner? We just did you eat something the past week that was really good, or even tonight something that's really good that you'd like to tell us, or something that you enjoyed?
Chinese food. I ate yesterday.
Chinese food, good.
It's been a while I didn't eat it. I really enjoyed my General Tao with the chicken, pineapple chicken.
Yeah, sounds very cool. General Tao, Cynthia, what's for dinner?
I didn't make yet. I have a salad plan on my head with a brownie for dessert.
Nice, really nice. That's good. Valerie?
Saturday I had brunch, and it was Eggs Benedict Florentine at Carpe Diem, which is a little bistro, and it was really good. And it looked good too, and I'm sorry I didn't take a picture.
Well, this past week I made a delicious burger with garlic and avocado and mushrooms and jalapenos and black olives and lettuce, tomato, special sauce, mayo, all that stuff. It's very delicious, and I took a picture of it. I'm going to be uploading that. And tonight I'm eating spaghetti. Very happy to eat spaghetti. I don't think William is there. Hello, William?
Yes, he's there, but we can't hear you.
Awesome. Well, look, thank you guys so much for coming out. I really appreciate it. It was a lot of fun. Hey, look, is there anything left to say?
Goodbye. Have a great week.
Thank you, Peter.
Bye. Thank you for being here.
Nice to see you, everyone.
Indeed. Happy to
Bye.
Ciao.
William, you're back. You made it for the... Oh, no, he's not back. Anyway, thank you so much for participating with us. Thank you for watching. If you have any suggestions for topics of the show, we're always looking for topics. It's definitely going to be going up on our schedule, so please let us know. If you have any questions you want specifically answered, if you have a joke of the week you want to submit, if you want to vote for the words for next week, the words for next week are structure and comfort. Structure and comfort for the joke of the week, so you can participate with that. You can find us on Twitter at Appreciationist. That's Twitter, Appreciationist. You can also find us on Facebook if you just look for the Appreciationist. And there's going to be far more coming. I just want to let you know what's upcoming here for us. I want you guys know that, let's see, on February 1st, we're having a Jumpstart event. So that's, I think it's $60, $55 right now if you buy it online. And you receive top-notch expert website advice. If you have a website or you're interested in starting a website, your own business, these are the questions you want to ask yourself before you start or while you're starting. Save you time and save you money. You can find that on meetup.com, meetup.com/happy for a change. So check us out there. I also want to let you guys know about, well, we have a group discussion tomorrow through Thursday. Samantha has appreciation talk and soap making. There are 4 spaces available, so you definitely want to go check that out before it fills up. It's going to be tomorrow at 6:30. You're making these soaps, Tan10Cat, tan10cat.com. That's a website we talked about earlier on previous episodes. And you're making wonderful soaps. You're making them in the shapes that you want. They're really, really cool. You definitely want to check them out. Just visit the website, tan10cat.com. You're going to really find some cool stuff there. The soap is kosher, organic, and vegan. I didn't know the soaps could be that way. Turns out there are better soaps out there, and you can make your own. Go check that out. That's Appreciation Talk and Soap Making. That's going to be tomorrow at 6:30. That's 4 spots left. Just go to meetup.com and search for Self-Discovery Montreal. That's the group called Self-Discovery Montreal, or you can go to samanthabarley.com and send her a message for that information. I want to let you guys know that on February 1st as well, alongside our Jumpstart, after that we're having an Infinity session. It's only $5. It's a reduced price. We do it for 1 hour, talking about anything that you want to talk about. And after that, we have something about love and attraction. It's an event called Love and Attraction, where we're talking about love and all things love and attraction. And that's going to be $5 at well. It's going to be in the same location, so you can come to all the meetups if you want. That's on February 1st. It's going to be a big day. That's a Sunday. Look, is there anything left to say? Well, tune in next week, Appreciationist, 7 p.m. with our co-hosts Valerie, Dimitri, and Beatty. And please participate in any way that you can. You make it so much fun. I can talk all night, but I've got spaghetti to eat. So take care, you guys. Bye.